Hey guys, it's Lane here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing our Ahsoka number 7 review. I don't know, I've had a horrible time lately making sure that the show episodes come out before the new episode of the show, so hopefully this comes out before the finale for Ahsoka comes out, but if it doesn't, I'm sorry. It is what it is, and I do apologize if I'm a little bit unsightly today with this weird like pink eye situation I got going on, because I've had like a string of weird symptoms lately. It's not COVID. I checked myself. It wasn't that, but I felt like I had strep throat, then I had an ear infection, and then I have pink eye right now. So I'm going through all of the flu adjacent issues here. I even felt like I had a bit of bronchitis going on, but it seems like it's out. It's going out. I don't feel sick anymore. I just have like an itchy eye, and it's mostly, it almost feels like allergies, but it's not, clearly. And hopefully it doesn't transfer to the other eye. But yeah, moving on to episode 7 here. So I watched it the day it released, and we're back at Coruscant, which is pretty cool. Basically, Hera is being court-martialed, and it's pretty ridiculous because it doesn't make sense. There's a certain lack of consistency with things across this era of Star Wars here that I'm not sure why it exists, because the same 3 people are working on these things and somehow they're not making it work. If Moff Gideon never got a trial, why is Hera getting a trial so quickly? All it takes to make this make sense is a single line of dialogue that says, Senator Siono, why did you push for an emergency meeting about this in order to do a court-martial if there's other more important things going on, as in ex-Imperials that need, actual things litigated about them. So all it took was that, but they didn't add it in, so it's a bit annoying. On one hand, I like that we're in Coruscant. I like seeing Genevieve O'Reilly again as Mon Mothma, and I really enjoyed the ending of the scene where C-3PO shows up. It was nice, it was wonderful. However, at the same time, it's like, this doesn't make sense. Why do you move so fast to court-martial Hera, but not fast enough to court-martial Moff Gideon, who's an actual bad guy, and Hera is just kind of being insubordinate? That is, on the scale of importance, Hera's insubordination is pretty low because she's basically not taking any resources at all, and Moff Gideon is like an actual threat that has proven he's a threat several times over, right? So I don't understand what the point of this is, why this happens. And the problem is that Dave Filoni, who is in charge of this, is the one that helped Jon Favreau make the Mandalorian stuff. So he knows what's going on during that time period. So why is this not lining up to that? It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. We get to see C-3PO show up and basically says that Leia authorized the mission, and this allows Hera to get off scot-free. So if that was a point of it, why didn't we just see that in an off kind of panel conversation and then moved on to the important bits here, which are Ahsoka training with Anakin's hologram recordings very nicely. I really like having him be in live action, and we know that these things existed, I think, from Rebels. There is a scene in Rebels where I think it's Ezra that's watching Anakin's hologram teachings. I can't remember, but it's really, really good. I like that. And it's nice that Ahsoka treats it so reverently. She has a case with a bunch of hologram decks, I guess, and she goes through them to train and to feel better and to center herself. And I like that. I think that's a great touch. It's also a really nice way to include Hayden Christensen. So I like that a lot. Eventually, they manage to arrive on Peridia. They exit the whales, and they are immediately attacked. There's these bombs set up around the area, and they manage to narrowly escape all of the bombs. However, they're being chased, and so they move into an asteroid field to try to, get rid of them. And this really feels like episode 5 here for a long time, and it's great. I like that a lot. And eventually, they're in the asteroid field. They shut down all their power. They're floating there. And Ahsoka uses the Force to try to find Sabine. Somehow, the two of them have managed to create a Force bond that allows them to feel each other in a very classic master and apprentice bond that we know is a metaphysical thing. It has a physical connection between the two characters. And it also exists between, all sorts of master and apprentice type relationships across all of Star Wars, whether they're good or bad. However, Sabine doesn't actually have the Force. Like, she has the Force in the sense that every living being has the Force, but she doesn't have the Force as in she can wield it. And so I'm not really sure how she's able to have a bond if she doesn't have the Force. It feels like it should be one of those things that Ahsoka is unsure about because, yes, she is my Padawan, but I don't have the same tools available to me, and maybe that was a problem because I can't actually make a force bond with her, and so I can't actively connect to her the same way that my master could to me or to his master, and so on and so forth, right? So again, I feel like this would have been a really interesting moment to have some issues and then have Ahsoka able to overcome them by using the Force better instead of by having Sabine have a bond with her in order to find her specific life force. But that's not what they chose to do. It's not really an issue in the sense that I don't mind too much, but the fact that it is inconsistent with previous things is annoying because I like consistency, and I like internal consistency most of all because that is what makes stories work, right? So it is what it is. But they find her, they go down into the gravity of the planet, into the planet itself, and they manage to join Ezra and Sabine in the nick of time because Ezra and Sabine are being chased by nomads and then eventually are found by Shin and Balon. And they have to battle the nomads, some stormtroopers, and then Shin. And it gets real hard and it's difficult, and there's a moment here where Ezra doesn't want his lightsaber, which to me felt really cool until he actually tried to fight without his lightsaber, and then it didn't look that great because he was doing these like very basic like martial arts things that were just like the Force, but it didn't really look that impactful. Like there could have been a different kind of more dynamic feeling to his movements, or he could have used different techniques. He could have used some of the Force speed and Force yell and stuff like that, like other types of more esoteric, non-standard Force powers to make it more interesting. But he didn't. He just chose really, really basic ones, and it wasn't that exciting. Then it gets hard for Ahsoka when she ends up having to fight Balon. I actually found this fight to not be very good. I did not enjoy it because it was sloppy. It was really, really sloppy in the way that it was happening, because there was even a moment where, without speeding up or slowing down or stopping, I noticed that there was a very clear scene where Ahsoka's back towards Balon's front and his sword is right here next to her neck, and she's not actually stopping it before her neck, she's stopping it after. So even if he can't move forward exactly, he can make his wrist move that way and cut off her head very, very easily. And the fact that he chose not to, or that no one noticed that this was possible, is annoying. Also, they moved really, really slow. And so slow that it was easy to tell when issues were happening. And this doesn't match what you would think two Jedi or two people trained in the Force at this level would be able to do. Their previous fights were much better because they did have really cool feeling kind of moments. But this one is by far the best, the worst fight in this series so far, and that's at least the worst fight that involves Ahsoka. She manages to escape him, get on the horse, and ride off. She manages to join Sabine and Ezra, and manages to stop Shin from attacking, and then everyone retreats in order to take advantage of the fact that now Ahsoka and company have lost time, and Thrawn has managed to move along his plan without having to confront them directly, and so he's almost ready to go. So overall, mixed feelings here, mixed bag. All of the stuff that encompasses Ahsoka, except for the fight, was pretty good. Some of the moments between Sabine and Ezra were good, but again, it feels really odd because I don't feel like they are caring about each other all that much. It feels very awkward to just have them kind of just interact silently. 15 years after, if it's been like 15 years since you lost sight of your friend, I don't feel like you would sit in comfortable silence, especially if you've been pining after them for that time, right? Like, I understand that sometimes when you talk to an old friend, you're not really looking to go like super crazy and try to be very, very close. You're trying to ease back into things. I understand that. I meet with friends from when I was younger every so often, every couple of years. I understand that you don't really go full hog, right? But these are normal friends. This is basically a boy and a girl that probably liked each other, that have a very important connection with each other. It's clearly something that has affected Sabine, like to a certain amount, like a ridiculous amount. And so her acting so nonchalant, meaning him, doesn't feel correct. It feels like there's supposed to be a big emotional break that doesn't ever happen, and that's really unsatisfying. So overall, mixed bag here, like I said. 5 is definitely still the best episode. I liked 6 a little bit more than this one, but I'm not exactly sure how I feel about all the other ones. So that's my thoughts on Ahsoka episode 7. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys very much for watching, and hopefully the finale is good tonight. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching once again, and see you guys later.